Hey everyone, welcome to 70 by 70 Retirement. I'm Petra.
And I'm Josh.
And today we want to do our check-in. We've been doing these every 2 weeks just to kind of give you an idea of what we've got completed, what we still need to get done, maybe things that happened that we didn't expect.
Things we've been working on, right?
Hi, we're Josh and Petra, early retirees traveling the world slowly while sharing honest insights about retirement and life on the road. Join us and share in the journey.
So, the last 2 weeks, well, we didn't get as much accomplished as we'd hoped. We were still busy, but not everything went to as planned. But let's go ahead and start with what we did get completed. So first thing that we got completed, actually finished that today, was we started a new cell phone plan. We've decided to go with the, Magenta with T-Mobile.
Something like that. We had AT&T, and although they do have international plans, T-Mobile, their plans, people 55 and older, included some international services as well, and less expensive. So we're gonna try that out and see how it goes.
It's a lot less expensive. They have actually pretty good coverage internationally, and it's a reasonably priced. So we're gonna give it a try. It does mean that I believe we're gonna have a little bit less data on the phones overseas, so that'll be something we'll have to get used to. We'll just kind of play it by ear and see how it goes.
Yeah. The next thing that we did, we had we've actually had a couple open houses, and during today's open house, we had some time to fill. So we ran over to Chase to see if we could go ahead and get an account set up, checking and savings, and unfortunately they didn't have any time. It's kind of towards the end of the day, but that's okay. We have an appointment for tomorrow set up. So we're gonna go in there, get our second account. I think we've mentioned it before, kind of our first major account is gonna be Schwab, Charles Schwab, that we're gonna use, and then have Chase as kind of a backup.
Yeah, Chase will be kind of the backup plan, just in case we have some issue where we're not able to access the Charles Schwab account. We'll just put like a fixed dollar amount in the Chase Bank and just kind of let it sit there and utilize it when needed. It's good to have more than one place to go for your money, just in case there is something that goes wrong. So like she mentioned, we had a couple of open houses. One was today, and then another was last week. Both were, from we heard from the realtor, very successful. Yeah. And from what we could see on the ring, we know that was true. It
kind of feels like you're stocking your own house. When you're watching the Ring doorbell system. Mostly I'm doing it to maybe hear anything, feedback that we're hearing from people leaving, if there's things like that maybe they're thinking that we hadn't thought about, kind of feedback on the place, and also keeping track. It helps me keep track of how many people are coming in and out. And so we've had about, including the open houses, about 30 people come through. So. Yeah.
We've had quite a few people. The realtor did meet with us today. We kind of talked about our success so far. Don't have an offer yet, but we've had a lot of people come through. She said that it seems as though buyers right now are just kind of not in a hurry to make offers, and that's not just for us. It seems to be the market here in Indianapolis at the moment.
And it sounds like we're starting to get people coming back through for the second viewings as well. So that's exciting for us.
The follow-up.
The
follow-up interview. Yeah. Hopefully our house is doing well. So on a personal note, I was able to complete the title paperwork. That's just a part of the selling process. You have to put in all of your information. It has to be cleared with the state. They essentially want to make sure you don't have any liens on your house or anything that you're not reporting to them as far as with the house title is concerned. So I finished that this past week. It was a very lengthy questionnaire, and I cannot lie, I had a number of questions about what I was actually supposed to fill in the end, I was able to figure it all out. I just had to go through it more than once, and after putting some time into it, I realized that I was just making it a bit more complicated than it had to be. But that's done, so that will be ready to go whenever we do hand over the keys to the house.
The other thing that happened in the last 2 weeks is we had our birthdays. And the last video, it was like, hey, our birthdays are coming up, but we actually had them. And I, for my birthday, which happened to be on a Saturday, I had been looking forward to going to a restaurant that I'd been wanting to try for a while. And it was Restoration Hardware Dining Room. And I was like, I've got to try this before we leave Indianapolis. And it was amazing. And we had family and friends there. And so it was just a great time. They didn't rush us out. It was lengthy. I think we were there for like 3 hours, just enjoying everybody's company and the food, just having a really great time. And I fell in love with this triple cream brie that they had. And our waiter found the name of it, and I went and, with my sister's help, found a couple of locations here in Indianapolis that sells it. So bought a couple of wedges, and it's just fantastic. I actually want to go and have like lunch, brunch, or dinner at least one more time before we leave Indianapolis. It was so great.
It was definitely very good quality food, and just was delicious across the board. One of the things, because it was wintertime, there's snow everywhere and it's cold, but they have a really, really nice property there. It sits on its own little private lake, and there's a ton of seating outside that we couldn't access. So I imagine that in the summertime, they probably have some really luxurious parties out there.
Now you can, Restoration Hardware, this isn't the only dining room that they have. They do have other locations. They might be called something different, but it's the restaurant that's associated with Restoration Hardware. So you might have one near you and if you haven't tried it, I would highly recommend it.
All right, so what else did we do this week?
Well, I transferred my retirement from one of my jobs over to Charles Schwab, so we've got that taken care of. And that was a pretty easy process, actually. So we kind of rolled that over. And then we also was planning. We are planning our accommodations from the late part of June in our itinerary to early August. And so that accounts for a couple of different locations. And one of the locations we went ahead and we booked an experience that we definitely want to do and didn't want to miss out on. So it's kind of like an extra little thing. Of course, we'll be videotaping it and showing you guys. But today we were working on, before the open house, we were working on getting accommodation for one city. And we talked about in the past how it takes a long time to do this, but we never quantified it by timing it. And so today we did, and looking and booking accommodations for one location took 4.5 hours, because again, we look on different platforms. We're primarily using Booking.com, which is the main one, Airbnb, and even some places on Agoda. Putting in the city, then using your filters to kind of filter price and maybe neighborhoods. But before you know what neighborhoods you want to be in, right, you have to do that research. Where are the kind of best neighborhoods, in the city? And then you start looking at all the properties individually that's in our price range. And then you got to go back, you're reading the reviews, and then we let each other person look at the ones that, so for instance, like I might start the look, and in the end I might have 5, 6, 7, 8 whatever accommodations that I was like, okay, I'm comfortable with any of these. And then Josh will go ahead and take a look at them, read all the reviews, the same thing that I just did. And then we kind of he'll say, oh no, I don't really like this one, and then in the end we might have half of those that we had just selected, and then it's kind of starting to narrow down at that point in time.
Yeah.
Okay, which one of these is the best for us, and then go ahead and book it. So for one location it took 4.5 hours.
Yeah, and so, I mean, Petra does a lot of the sites as far as apartments go. She is looking through all of those, and that takes a lot of time for her. In the meantime, usually I check all of the hotels just to see if there's anything in the area that may be comparable to what we're seeing in the apartments. And for the most part, apartments are cheaper than the hotels, but we have found a few locations where staying at hotels is right there on par with the apartments, and at that point we're like, well, it'd be a nice break to actually spend a week or two in a hotel versus an apartment.
Sure. Plus, we have built up these points or even purchased points when they've been on sale. So if it's...
And that was what that was for from the very beginning. You spend, sure, it costs $2,000 to $3,000 for a bunch of points, and you're like, wow, that's a lot of money for just some points. Who knows whether I'm going to get my value on them?
But you do.
Well, I got to tell you, you make bank, right? That's the word. You make bank buying these points because you trade them in for night stays at a hotel. It's just hard to fathom just how much you actually save at these hotels.
Absolutely.
By spending points instead of paying in cash. So anyway, we did set up some hotels. That was part of what we accomplished this past week, and not necessarily today, but there's still more to do. We've got a lot of it very closely narrowed down. There's just a few things we got to figure out yet.
And once then we have the accommodations booked, then we'll be looking at transportation in between those locations. And that's also part of what we're taking into account when we're picking a location, is how easy is it going to be to get there? What is the transportation options in between the locations? We haven't necessarily booked it, but we've taken a look at it.
Right.
Because there are places that we've looked at and we're like, this would be great, but getting there it can be kind of an issue.
Just as an example, without getting into too much detail, on today's search for a place to stay, the first location looked like a good spot because initially we were thinking it's not a tourist location, so it'll be more chill and we'll be able to get around okay. And then in the end, we ended up picking something more centrally located because just for the simple fact that the transportation actually wasn't as great as we had hoped in the particular country where we're going. And we just had to consider that as part of our decision-making process. But yeah, it does play a big role in where we're going and how long we're going to be there. But then also, we're saving. The part of the price that we're putting on the accommodations is much lower, so that we can afford to take the remainder of our funds for the month to pay for transportation, food, etc.
Yep.
So what do we got coming up next? Well, the big thing is
selling the house.
We've got to sell this house. There are just so many things that are on hold until this house is sold. Once the house is sold, there's a ton of dominoes that are going to fall into place.
Yeah. So we're kind of like in a holding pattern right now.
Yeah.
And we know the house will sell. And just talking with our realtor, it gives us a little anxiety, but it's not like it was even a year ago where people would come in and felt like they needed to make an offer right away. They're, wanting to wait a little bit and do more time. And we get that, we understand that, but of course, we just wish they would just come in and be like, I love it, it's great, here,
their time
take my money.
Around, And I guess a year ago was more like they went in, they immediately, they were a bit more, less thinking, more buying last year. And then the market's changed here, and now we're just going to have to wait it out. It's okay. We'll get there. We're, like I told the realtor today, she asked if the plan that she made was a good one, and I said, you know what, you're the expert. I'm going to let you be in charge. My emotional anxiety does not understand the process that you do, so you're in charge. You do what you think is best. Because my fears aren't going to help at all, and
Yeah.
I'm not thinking clearly. I'm just trying to expedite something, and I really just need to take my time with it.
Yep.
So outside of selling the house,
We still have to make a trip to South Dakota. We have a time period in which we can go. It's just, we're trying to figure out, are we going to have an offer? Do we need to be around that time in order for closing? Even if we sold the place tomorrow, the time frame that we had allotted out for that, we can go. We just now have to add those plans too, to get there to South Dakota, to get our residency in South Dakota, and then we can come back. We thought we would spend a little bit more time maybe traveling around the area. However, I think, at least for me, I just feel like we just need to go and come back and then just be here for, the process of the house.
we might have to postpone our extended trip. So going to South Dakota, in case, I think Petra probably already mentioned it, we're going to be getting our residency, driver's license, an address.
Yeah, so we're going to do a video on this whole process and talk about why we're going to South Dakota to get our residency, what it really means, and how to do it. So you can look for that video coming up.
So in addition to just going, it's not just a trip up there to see Mount Rushmore. As much as we'd like to do that, I think that we're going to have to catch Mount Rushmore in 5 years, the next time we pass through.
So some of the other things we still have coming up, we do have a few more locations that we need to go ahead and get accommodations for.
Hey, Sophie.
There's Sophie again. We definitely, I don't know if I should say the names or not, but I'll go ahead and say them. Like, we're looking for accommodations in Romania and finishing up some places in Montenegro. And we will also be doing Christmas markets because I love the Christmas markets. Most of that is already planned. There's a 3 or 4 day period. It's not a Christmas market, but it's an experience that I'd really like to do on one of the icebreaker ships. So we're looking into that. Just to see if it'll fit into the dates that we have available for that. We don't know. Hopefully.
I think Copenhagen was the backup plan.
Yeah.
Let's see then, we've got to sell the car. That's one of those things that's kind of waiting for the house to be sold. We're not in any hurry on that one.
Kind of on our way out.
So then just some appointments for me. I've got to go see the optometrist still. I'm probably going to do that in the next 2 weeks. Last visit to the dentist here in the U.S. and the last visit to my doctor's is coming up also.
Yeah. And then what's coming up? There's places here in Indy that we've been wanting to try but haven't. We tried to go to one of those places tonight, and unfortunately it was just like, hey, let's go. We didn't have a reservation, so they couldn't accommodate us. But we do have got a reservation for tomorrow. And one of the things that we are going to do for the travel channel, so 70 by 70 travel, is do a video of the places that we've enjoyed in Indianapolis. It's kind of like a goodbye to the Indianapolis area. So we're also kind of in that process of getting some video footage of those locations and kind of making our list. But the place I wanted to go tonight, that we'll get to go tomorrow. I just love absolutely love the name of it. It's an English restaurant called Cheeky Bastards. I mean, how could you not want to go there and try it out? I'm so excited.
All right, so things that were unexpected. Well, for me personally, last week, right around my birthday, I ended up getting sick. I think it was on a Tuesday. Came home Tuesday evening, slept I slept for most of the night, had a really rough night, a bit of a stomach flu, and then the following day slept all day long, and finally got up on Thursday, but was really weak and was, not myself, but still try to get some things accomplished. Then Friday came and I felt like $1,000,000. Saturday felt great, and then Sunday came and I was having like more sickness again. It wasn't the same as before, but it was like a rebound sickness, and that lasted for another few days again. So
I don't think it's rebound sickness. Sunday he was at work, so I think he's just.
Well, I am allergic to work. That every time I go in, all my allergies kick up. I get itchy all over, and my eyes are bloodshot, and I get headaches.
Another reason to be done.
Every day I go to work. Yeah. I don't know why. It's only at work. Only at work.
Yeah. So and because of that, we did miss a video that week for the Travel Channel, which really don't want to do, but unfortunately he was pretty sick, and I haven't learned the editing yet, the editing software. So unfortunately we did miss a day, but that's okay. We're back on track. And the other thing unexpected is we haven't had any offers on the house. Yeah. I think my house is gorgeous. I can't help it. I do.
She's not biased.
I'm not biased, but I do. Don't get me wrong. Our realtor has let us know that we are getting a lot of attention, more so than really the average houses on the market right now. So we are getting a lot of attention. I do believe in offers coming through. It's the waiting. The waiting is the hard thing. It's making me a little anxious.
The waiting is the hard part.
Yep.
Right. So I guess the closing thought then is selling a house is very stressful. That's what we're finding out.
Yes. Yes, it is. And and I think part of it is too, you're living a very different way than you normally would. Hi, Sophie. Because you're trying to keep the house as close to the viewing state as possible, meaning how you leave it when people come to view it is how we're trying to live. And it's kind of exhausting. Not that we're filthy people, because we're not. But like we sit on the couches, we got our pillows there. Oh, got to fluff up the pillows, before we leave. Make sure all of the dishes are done. Turn
on all the lights, open up all the blinds.
Toilet seats down, toilet covers down, and
no water on the shower door.
Wiping the shower door dry, all that kind of stuff. So, normally we let that air dry. No. Yeah. Because even if we don't have anything scheduled, if we leave to, go run errands or whatever, at any point in time we could get a request for a viewing. And granted, it's usually like a 2-hour notice, but we might be out and about and won't be home by 2. So every time we leave, the house has to be ready to go. Yeah. So that's what I think is the stressful part, And it looks like Sophie is rounding the computer, so he's wanting our attention. So
she wants to be a part of the video, I think.
Yeah.
She's jealous.
And so we, we'll do another checkup in 2 weeks. So next week we're going to do some content that hopefully you'll find interesting and relates to Sophie. Relates to Sophie and her tail.
She's too much.
But it is about what do you do? What do you do when you have pets and you're leaving to travel the world full time?
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Well, I think we'll let you go so we can give Sophie some attention. Thank you guys so much for watching. We truly do appreciate you. If you haven't already and you'd like to follow us on this journey, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Give us some thumbs up. Let us know anything in the comments that might be helpful, like if you've sold a house before, and how did you manage through the anxiety part, of that? And then turn on your notification bell so next time we upload videos, you will get notification of it. All right, guys, thank you so much. Again, we appreciate you, and we will see you in the post.
See you in the post.
Have a good night.
Oh, good night, guys.
She's really got your thumb.
She won't let go of my hand. She's biting me.